The following is a project of our nonprofit newsroom. Support Midcoast Morning and local journalism today at chly.ca/donate. Local news doesn't survive without local support.
Running August 7th to 17th, the Nanaimo Fringe Festival returns for its 15th anniversary. A milestone year, the Little Fringe That Could is yet again bringing an assortment of creative acts from across the continent to Nanaimo for 10 days. I'm Jesse Woodward, executive producer, filling in for Joe Pugh, and this is Midcoast Morning. On today's show, we're talking Fringe with Nanaimo Fringe Festival artistic producer Yvette Dudley Newman, as well as Nicole Natras, one of the festival's founders, who is performing in this year's festival. Wrapping up the show, we chat with stand-up comedian Darren Miller about his solo show, which has been performed at the Edmonton and Montreal Fringe Festivals. But first, we chat with Yvette Dudley Newman, who this year stepped into the role of artistic producer for the festival. Getting started, say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Yvette Dudley Newman. I'm the artistic producer of the Nanaimo Fringe Festival.
So this year is a big year for the Nanaimo Fringe Festival. 15 years. That's a pretty big milestone.
It's a wonderful milestone, and it's lovely for this town to have had a Fringe Festival for so many years.
Yeah. So is there anything special this year for the 15th festival?
Yes, we have a couple of wonderful events that I'd like to point out. The first is we have Nicole Natras, who was one of the founders of the Fringe here, which started in 2005, if you don't want to do the math. And she will be presenting a solo show, a reading of her solo show called Suddenly 50. We also have 25 Fringe button events, which when you buy your $5 Fringe button, that button gets you access to all of those. And one of those is a founding Fringe panel where they will talk about why they started the Fringe and how it came to be. And I think it's going to be a really interesting session. That's maybe not for everybody, but we have everything from puppets to DJ turning sessions to music. James Vickers will be playing. I know a lot of people in Nanaimo like him.
Yeah. So in general, what makes Fringe festivals so special?
I think what makes the Fringe Festival so special is, first of all, it's a unique event that happens worldwide, and that Fringe festivals are a place where artists can come and put together their own work. And we pretty much allow anything except hate speech. So anything goes, really, and a lot of fun and interesting things. You might see something you've never seen before. And it's a really inexpensive way for an artist to be able to get their work out into the world.
Yeah. Anything goes, just don't be a jerk.
Just don't be a jerk. Yeah.
Okay. So for the listener, what are some of the shows this year at the festival? What are you particularly excited about yourself?
So I am very excited about a show called Boys Club, which is going to be performed by Alec Mack. He is a singer who does a sort of soft rap style of music, and he it's his first time putting it together in a show. So he's done lots of performing, and he won some awards for his performances, but he's actually written a story that weaves together his songs, and I know that he's written at least 8 new songs for that show. So I think that's going to be a wonderful addition. The other show that I think people will be very excited about is, of course, Clue, the burlesque show, and that will be as seen or unseen as the clothes come off, but a really fun way. Every night will have a different ending. Another show that I really want to highlight for you is called The Syllabus, and this is basically a class, a professor who takes you through the first day of class, but it's also all about how the media affects us and affects our thinking and the way we see gender and politics and life in general.
So with a Fringe Festival, there's a lot of different kinds of elbow grease that are needed. Are you still looking for volunteers?
Absolutely. We would love to have more volunteers. We have actually volunteers out at the night market this evening because it's a Thursday. Well, when we're recording, it's a Thursday.
Yeah.
But we would love to have volunteers to take tickets, to work our merchandise tables, to help out with setup. We're looking for volunteers, and the volunteers who help out, when you do a 3-hour shift, you get a voucher which gets you into a show. So it's a nice way to see some shows if you're a little low on cash.
Yeah. And so for people who want to volunteer, where would they do that? And is there a deadline for volunteering?
They can go to nanaimofringe.com, and there's a sign-up form there under volunteers, and we would love to have all our volunteers sorted by July 31st.
So with that, where can people get their passes, aka Fringe buttons?
Fringe buttons are available at the Nanaimo Night Market in advance, so you can get one there. You can also, during the Fringe time, which is August 7th to 17th, pick up one at the Hub or any of the venues where you are seeing shows, which would be the Port Theatre lobby, the Attic, and the White Rabbit Cafe, which are all located at the Selby Station stage, 321 Selby Street.
And remind us again how much a button is?
$5.
And for those on the fence, say maybe they haven't done a Fringe festival, maybe they've done one in the past, why should people not miss this year's festival?
I think people should not miss this year's festival because it's a great opportunity to be part of the community, to come out. The shows are really inexpensive. If you buy a 5 festival pass, the shows work out to $14 a show. You can share your pass with a friend. So, you want to book 2 tickets for each of you. I don't think you can get a better bang for your buck. And then the $5 Fringe button that gets you into those 25 Fringe button events, that's a no-brainer. Come down and have some fun.
And so what else should people know? And is there anybody who you'd like to thank?
I think people should know that this Fringe Festival is we're part of the Canadian Association for Fringe Festivals. So festivals are happening all across Canada. That's the first thing. I think they should know that we have a wonderful board of volunteers who have been working really hard to make this festival happen. We are supported by all contract staff. So we have Canada Summer Job students and then contract technicians. And then we have wonderful volunteers and wonderful sponsors. I won't thank all of them now, but I definitely want to thank the Port Theatre and the Black Rabbit Kitchen, the City of Nanaimo, and the Government of British Columbia, who are our biggest funders and sponsors.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'll be sure to check out the Fringe.
Thank you very much, Jesse.
Yvette Dudley-Newman is Artistic Director for the Nanaimo Fringe Festival. Those interested in volunteering with the Fringe Festival can sign up at nanaimofringe.com/volunteer. The festival is also seeking applications for board members to support the festival year-round. Speaking of board members, Nicole Natras is one of the founding board members for the Fringe Festival in Nanaimo and is performing this year. I spoke to her about her show and the festival. So this is the 15th year of the Nanaimo Fringe Fest, and you are one of the co-founders. How does that feel?
It means I'm getting younger.
Yeah, with every year. Yeah.
With every year, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it feels great. It's great. We came together through a friend of ours, Rob Mowbray, who was actually I think he was the president of Theatre BC at the time and lived in Nanaimo, and he had this idea of wanting to start a fringe in Nanaimo. And we all jumped on board because having experience performing on the Canadian Fringe circuit myself, I just feel like it's such a valuable thing to bring to our community.
Yeah. And so just for those maybe less familiar with Fringe festivals, what makes a Fringe festival a Fringe festival?
What makes a Fringe festival is that artists are supported. So artists are going to receive 100% of the tickets, the sales of the tickets, for one thing. And it's generally open to anyone. So anyone can apply who has an idea for a show or a performance, and then you're selected through lottery. So it's kind of a unique experience, and it's a level playing field for artists. And, it's wonderful because the artists receive a venue, they receive promotion, the Fringe helps you promote your show, the Fringe handles all the ticket sales, And so it gives the artists an opportunity to really put your work out there and be supported at the same time.
Okay, and so some of the themes that are often presented at Fringe festivals, what might some of them be for those thinking of attending?
Themes for different shows?
Yeah.
Well, anything. Anything goes. Generally, folks can do their own original work, like I'm doing a stage reading of my own play that I've written, but artists could also choose to do, their favorite Shakespeare play. So anything goes, or they could choose to do a performance, poetry piece, or a burlesque number, or a musical. So anything goes whatsoever. If you wanted to, read the phone book, you could. I don't know how many people would come to that.
Yeah. So you mentioned you mentioned you have your own show in the fest this year. Can you tell the listener about it?
Yeah, I'm at the Selby Station stage, and it's a special event. So it's a staged reading, and it's a show called Suddenly 50. It's my one-woman show. I've written and perform it, and it is really a celebration of humor and authenticity around a woman coming to terms with entering midlife and what that means.
And I saw it noted that TJ Daw is directing. He's a Fringe legend. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. TJ Daw, look him up. He and I are both graduates from U of X theater department, even though we never actually hung out at the time. He's toured Fringe circuits forever and is kind of known as a guru. And I've worked with him on a couple of different shows now as my dramaturg and director. And he is very, very skilled at the solo show format. He's able to just really hone what makes a solo show, a one-person show, so impactful for an audience. And if you get a chance to see his work, it's pretty incredible. Okay,
and so you'll be at the Fringe yourself. Is there any particular show that you're looking forward to seeing yourself this year?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing a new playwright here from Nanaimo, and she is doing a show called The First to Stand, and I'm actually going to be working with the cast as an intimacy director on that particular show, and that's going to be at the Port Main stage, and it's called The First to Stand. There's also really unique shows happening in the coffee shop at White Rabbit, so actually within different spaces, which are really interesting. Like with my stage reading, I'm upstairs in the
Black Rabbit attic.
Yeah, in the attic space, and then I'm actually going to be performing my show out in the outdoor stage as well.
Oh, perfect. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Sure. I'm also offering just a mental wellness for artists workshop at the Nanaimo Fringe too. It's just going to be an hour from 5 to 6. I think it's on Wednesday, August 13th. And I'm really a big advocate for supporting mental wellness, as I'm also a counselor, a certified counselor, and so I'm going to be offering a workshop for free. We're going to have some fun, taking a break and doing some journaling, possibly having some stickers and bubbles, and just taking some time off the seriousness of the world, which I think is much needed at this time.
Well, Nicole, here's to 15 more years of the Fringe, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me, and hope to see you out at the Nanaimo Fringe.
Oh, we'll definitely be out and about. Thank you. Nicole Natras is a founding board member for the Nanaimo Fringe Festival, which runs August 7th to 17th in Nanaimo.
Midcoast Morning is part of our nonprofit newsroom project, supported by listeners like you. Keep this program on the air by funding it today with a monthly sustaining donation at chly.ca/donate. We've got tote bags and shirts if you need an incentive.
To wrap up the show, we speak with another performer. Darren Miller is a stand-up comic based in Victoria. We chat about his performance of 100 milliliters or less, Confessions of a Pat-Down Expert, where he explains that sometimes life doesn't go as anticipated. So, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jesse. My name is Darren Miller. I am a stand-up comic and solo performer, storyteller from Victoria, BC.
Okay, so you mentioned you're a stand-up, a storyteller, a fringe performer. Can you tell the listener a little bit about yourself and your history? Like, what got you into this?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I started stand-up back in like 2010, just in Victoria. I'd written. I thought I had some funny anecdotes, and I asked a couple people what I should do, and they said, "Well, you go to an open mic, and you go up and you say them on a stage and with a microphone in front of a crowd of people, and hopefully they laugh. And if not, then you do it all over again the next week," which is what I did, and I'd done that for years, and then kind of got interested in fringe and more of like the storytelling aspect of it. And so I applied last year, ended up applying for the Edmonton Fringe Festival and got in there. And took a story, obviously I love doing stand-up. That's not my job. For years, I worked doing airport security in Victoria International Airport. And so my show for the Fringe Festival kind of revolved around my experiences there.
Okay. So just going back to being a stand-up comic for a bit, in the comedy world, who are your influences?
Oh, that's crazy. Like locally, there's lots of really, really great comics like James Ball and Shane Priestley. Mark Robertson started one of the first. When I started, there wasn't a lot of stand-up comedy in Victoria or a lot of rooms. And with the support of Aaron from Hecklers, Aaron Magoo, they started a stand-up room kind of above Hecklers, which is the stand-up club in Victoria. And for years, that was kind of like a little incubator for what eventually became kind of the Victoria stand-up scene. I also like a lot of storytelling comics like Mike Birbiglia, but also like Joe List and Mark Normand, guys like that coming out of New York. But Canada's got a great, like right across Canada, there's a great stand-up scene. There's people in Vancouver, Graham Clark, Ivan Decker. I mean, I keep going. Yeah, for sure.
So
it's funny. I'll just say, that's one of the funny things is like there's a lot of big comics and a lot of YouTube specials and stuff that comes out now, but I feel like a lot of the influences are kind of closer to home, right? Guys who you get to see or people you get to see working on stuff around town, and get to see them hit some kind of success too. Like Emily Woods was in town for quite a while in Victoria, and she eventually put out an album and a stand-up on YouTube as well. Yeah,
and so that's an example of like some of the up and coming comics that you're enjoying.
Yeah, exactly.
So this year, you're bringing your show 100 milliliters or less, Confessions of a Pat-Down Expert, to the Nanaimo Fringe. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so the show's pretty much, I'll just completely spoil it. So spoilers going ahead. Like I finished university in 2007, 2008. I had a teaching degree and was going to go and be a teacher. Ended up, a confluence of life events, having kids and that sort of thing. I wound up sort of working at Victoria Airport doing security, which wasn't my first choice, being a teacher, and ended up working security for over 12 years and never really teaching. And so it's kind of about the weird things that happen at the airport. Was, like anecdotes about, people, the stuff they try to bring on the plane or the kind of passengers you get through, that sort of thing. But it's also sort of a story about being on a particular life path or the expectations you have, like what what you're going to do with your life. And then, life has a way of ripping up those plans and giving you something else, right?
Yeah.
And what do you do with that when that happens? Like, you'd be angry, disappointed, which I was for some amount of time, or do you find some way around it?
To expand on the airport theme, your flight got redirected for life, and
exactly.
You landed somewhere else.
Yeah, that is perfect. I'm going to steal that and put that in the show.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So what days can people see you at the Fringe?
Fringe, I'll be there on Saturday and Sunday. That's August 9th and 10th. 5:45 and 2:00 show. The 2:00 show, actually, too, I'm going to have a American Sign Language interpreter for that 2:00 show, in case anyone wants to come out, take advantage of that. And then I'm there Wednesday, August 13th, and then Friday, Saturday. That's the 15th and the 16th. And you can get tickets for that show at the Fringe website.
Okay, and Darren, so where can people find you at the event?
At the event, I'll be at the Black Rabbit, at the attic, actually up above from the Black Rabbit kitchen. That's 321 Selby Street. Great restaurant, great venue.
Okay, and is there any other particular show at the Fringe that you're excited to see yourself?
Yeah, there's Percolate, which a friend of mine, Patty, she's doing that show with Scarlett Chen, directed it. And then also John David did Costco Heartbreak, and he was at Edmonton. He's a Victoria comic storyteller as well, and he was at Edmonton Fringe Festival as well, and I saw that show. It was very good.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, that's it. Thanks for having me on, Jesse. This is great. Also, too, follow me on social media. I got an Instagram at Darren Miller 101, and also I've got a Facebook Darren Miller comedy page. You can follow me there as well. That really does make a difference for any comics or people. I mean, obviously, social media is a big game changer for all those people, so it does make a difference if people follow you and kind of keep up on where you're going. And that's also where post any dates or shows you do up island or across the country, really.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and have a great weekend.
Darren Miller, comedian and performer of 100 milliliters or less, Confessions of a Pat-Down Expert. Go check out his show and all the other Nanaimo Fringe Festival performances August 7th to 17th. The festival main stage this year is at the Port Theatre, with other shows at the Port Theatre lobby, the Attic at Black Rabbit, the White Rabbit Cafe, and the Selby Station stage. There are also a variety of other daily Fringe events that can be attended with a Fringe button, but space is limited, so register early. Tickets for the shows are available from the Port Theatre. You can learn more about the festival and the daily Fringe events by going to nanaimofringe.com. Just click on the link for the Fringe button events. You can also find paper Fringe Festival guides at White Rabbit Coffee, the Port Theatre, and many other shops and businesses in downtown Nanaimo. And that's our show for today, and my last day filling in for Joe Pugh, who will be back next week. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jesse Woodward, executive producer for Midcoast Morning. RB Frew is our technical advisor. Special thanks for Heather Watson, who also filled in on Midcoast Morning. You can sign up for CHLY's newsletter at chly.ca/subscribe. If you have a story you think we should cover, email us at news@chly.ca. You can now find Midcoast Morning on even more podcast services like Spotify, YouTube, and others. If you can, give us a positive review wherever you find us. It really helps. Our theme song is First One by Nanaimo band Waste Management. Find them on Bandcamp. With that, I'll talk to you on another edition of Midcoast Morning.
Midcoast Morning would not be possible without the funding of the Community Radio Fund of Canada's Radio Meters program and generous listeners like you. Support our news, current affairs, and arts and cultural programming through our nonprofit newsroom project today by making a monthly sustaining donation at chly.ca/donate. Finally, this program gives thanks to the Nanaimo First Nation as we broadcast and podcast from their traditional territory. Thanks for listening.